Good morning, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Lotus Blossom Dolls here. Alright, we're gonna attempt to take this baby apart and fix her up. This is a doll my grandmother made for my aunt when my aunt was born. She made one for all of her kids. And this baby doll has not had any restoration or repair done on her at all since she was made. Her eye mechanism actually is loose inside her head, which is why I'm taking her apart right now. She's not in great shape. Her dress is like really stained and dirty, and her diaper has appeared to have rusted. So we're gonna throw those away. I might have to make her a new diaper, but we'll see. I have to be really careful with this because I can't get a tetanus shot. Okay. At least her body's in good shape. I wonder if I could use this body as a pattern for my other baby dolls that are over there. So Grandma sewed a wire into the neck to hold the head in place, which was really clever of her. It was a really smart way to really secure this baby doll head so that it would never come loose. She also sealed the bottom of this to keep the head safe. It was really smart of her as well. I'm going to very gently try to get her eye mechanism out, just so we can kind of see what we're working with. Ooh, I don't actually know if I can get this all the way out. I can see how she did it though. I don't know if I can get this clear enough. So essentially, there's a piece of a baby doll head with eyeballs on it inside the head right now. It should look like that. I'm not 1000% sure how she did this. I think it might be good to I don't know, I might have to do a little bit of research before I continue this. But it's sitting in there, it just needs some way to be secured. I'm just using my finger when I turn it over to hold it in place. I want to wash her before I put her back together, and I don't know what this mold situation is, but that needs to get cleaned as well. Which means I might have to remove her arms too. I'm afraid to wash this because of the metal. So I guess we'll have to do some experimenting. I do need to remake her finger as well. Alright, I'm gonna come back once I've done a little research and I can figure out what to do for keeping her eyeballs attached inside her little head. So I started working on the baby doll dress. I washed and rinsed it once already. It's looking a lot better, but there are a couple stains that I'm trying to get rid of. So there's one rust stain on the dress, and then a little bit of mold damage on the back. I'm testing it on the diaper first. I was reading online that you could try hydrogen peroxide, so we're trying that. It says to let it set for 10 minutes, so we're gonna let that sit for a little bit and see how much that helps. But yeah, we're gonna give that a shot before we do it on the dress. I imagine that I'm not gonna be able to get the diaper better, so I'll probably have to make a new one, but it's just a simple piece of like muslin cloth that's been cut and folded correctly, so I'm sure I can replace that, but I'd like to get it out of the dress if I can, so we're gonna do some tests on the diaper first. Wish me luck. Hello, welcome back. So as an update, I'm still waiting for the supplies to come in for the plaster setting for the baby doll eyes, but I did do a little bit of touch up on the body, not a lot. I still need to fix the finger, but I got the stuff for that today, so I might do that later. And I got the dress all clean and it looks way better. There's one little stain right here that I don't think I'm gonna be able to get out, but generally speaking, it just looks like so much nicer and cleaner. You can see like a hint of the staining still from the mold, but I did spot treat it and it's a lot better than it was. I don't think it's particularly noticeable anymore. So what we're gonna do next is, this is the fabric for the diaper, and I am going to replace it because I cannot save this without bleaching it forever, and it's just, I have a very similar white muslin type fabric right here. So I'm going to cut out a new diaper, and I grabbed some new non-rusty safety pins, and we are going to fold up and pin a new diaper on the baby. So I'm gonna get this cut out and then we'll start folding. Alright, so I have cut my fabric out and I have folded it in half. This is gonna be a little tricky to do this one-handed, but essentially you're gonna fold it like this so that there's like a triangle on this side, and then you're gonna flip it and you're gonna use this extra fabric to make sort of like a pad in the middle. Then you're gonna lay the baby down and run this through the middle, like so, and then you take the ends and fold them up. I think I'm gonna have to do this two-handed though to pin it in place, but that's sort of the gist of it. So I'm gonna pin this to the doll body and then I will be back in a second. Alright, so we got the diaper on. It looks quite cute. I'm quite happy with it. The staining didn't fully come out of the body, but I did do a mold removal treatment, so it shouldn't get any worse. It's just staining now. This is the finger that needs to be repaired. I did get the epoxy for that today, so I'm gonna sculpt that in, and then we'll have to paint it and try to color match it a little bit. But I'm really quite excited to put the head back on once I can get that all done and fixed and cleaned. I'm probably just gonna pop the dress back on the body. Well, I don't know, I guess I could fix the finger first. I probably should do that. Okay, I'm gonna fix the finger first and then we will pop the outfit back on the body. So I'm gonna go get the supplies to do that. Well, it turns out it's quite hard to film this, but I did sculpt in a new finger. It's not perfect, but it'll work for our purposes. So, yeah, we're gonna let that fully cure and harden, and then we're gonna paint it. Try to get it to somewhat match the other fingers. Alrighty, welcome back. So I did a little bit of practice and looking at the doll a little more, and I was waiting for the museum wax to work on the head. However, it occurred to me that the entire piece inside her head is plaster and it's molded to the inside of her face. So I don't have too much fear that it's gonna touch her eyes because of just how far, let's see if I can get the lighting, just how much of the inside of the head has plaster. Already. So we're just gonna put a little seal essentially around the eyes. And then I'm gonna let it sit until it's hard. So I have some water, I have a little plastic container, and I have the plaster. And I'm gonna use a wooden dowel to like stir it up and put it in here. And then I'm gonna let it dry in this container so that I know if it's dry inside the head or not. So I'm gonna mix up the plaster and I will be right back. Okay, so I've mixed up the plaster, the consistency you're looking for. It looks kind of watery, but it's not. You're looking to pull it up and have it not drip. So that's good. So now I'm just gonna make sure that the eyes are correct inside the head. Then is to just get this along the edging of where the plaster previously was. So while I do this, I am actually struggling to do this while filming, so I'm gonna do this off camera, but you can see how it's going. So I'll be back in a second. All right, so I have the eyes plastered in. I'm not gonna tilt her yet because I wanna make sure it's set. I did kind of a messy job. It's my first time ever doing this, so I don't know if you can see a little on the neck right here where I like spilled a little. I'm gonna leave, I ended up using a toothbrush, but I'm gonna leave this sitting here to harden. And once the plaster in here is hardened, then the plaster inside the baby should be good. But yeah, we're gonna let that sit and I'll be back. All right, welcome back. So it's been about just shy of 24 hours since I last showed you the baby. And here she is. The plaster is hardened, at least to surface level hard. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff the inside of her head with cotton fibers. That way, if she is stored on her back again, hopefully her eye mechanism won't be holding all of the weight. So I'm going to do that. And then after that, we will scrub her face. But I really want to make sure the plaster is fully cured because I don't want to add water to it while it's hardening. But we do need to scrub her face, and I bought some soap for that. And I still need to paint her finger, her pinky finger, so we might do that today as well. We'll see. All right, let's get to stuffing her head. All right, so we have her head. This is the leftover cotton fluffing filling from the doll that I had that had the really bad chemical reaction. So we're gonna reuse, and we're gonna stuff her head with this. I know people usually use like tissue paper for this, but I have this stuffing lying around already, so I feel like this will be like a good use for this. Just to make sure that her eyes are really secure in there. Okay, she's quite heavy now, but she's stuffed, so she feels a lot better. We're gonna give her a good scrubbing next. I'm excited for that step. I feel like she's gonna really come back to life. Already having her eyes back in is helping a lot though. Alright, we're gonna give this a shot. We're gonna start on the back of the head because I'm testing a new soap that I haven't tried before. And I wanna make sure that it's not gonna cause any issues. So I'm using a non-abrasive non textured soap, and this is a non-water based soap. I'm gonna wipe it dry. Oh, look at all the dirt. That's very satisfying. Okay. Alright, in order to not have you have to sit here for 20 hours while I scrub this, I'm going to time-lapse the rest of the scrubbing of her head. Alright, here she is all cleaned up. I can't get this spot off, but that's okay. She's looking so much better, it's actually kind of insane. And Grandma did like a lot of modeling on her head, so her head looks really cool and real. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna go do her hands now. So we're gonna start that process, and then we will paint the finger and we'll put it all back together. Alright, the hands aren't super gross, but I'm gonna give them just a little quick scrub just to make sure that we got any residual gunk off of them. I hope you guys are liking this video so far. I know this is like a little different than my normal content, but I really love all dolls, not just American Girls. And I think it's fun sometimes to do restoration projects like this. It just goes to show you can use your American Girl skills on any kind of doll. And I feel like the art of fixing up some of these old dolls is kind of dying, so it's nice to keep that alive a little bit. Yeah, that hand wasn't very gross. I'm gonna gently do this one because I haven't painted this finger yet. I probably should have done this before I did the finger, but I didn't get the soap until after, and I didn't think I was gonna do the hands, so you'll just have to forgive me. The little finger sculpting turned out cute though. I hope it paints up good. I'm kind of nervous about it at the moment, but we're gonna find out. Once again, the hands were not really very dirty. They were just covered by the little sleeves, so I wasn't too stressed about the hands, but all right. The next step is going to be painting that finger, and then we will get her all put back together. Good morning. The camera's going to be a little shaky, so I apologize about that, but I just mixed a color that I think is quite close. Might be a little too yellow, but I think it'll be close. We're going to do a base coat on this. And then I'm going to speed up the rest of this process because it's going to be a long time painting and doing multiple layers to get the right color. So enjoy the time lapse. Okay, I think that's as close as I'm going to be able to get this. So we're gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna add a matte top coat to have it sort of match the texture of the rest of the hand. All right, welcome back. Here she is, all done. I think it was quite the transformation. She looks absolutely stunning. I love how her dress turned out. There's one spot I wasn't able to get out, but everything else came out. Her hands turned out really cute and all clean and ready. And the finger I fixed, I feel like you can't really tell that I fixed it, so that's really good. I made her a new diaper and I cleaned all her outfit, and I think she just looks so cute and she's all functional again and her eyes look great. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the restoration process. The next few things I'm going to be working on is wallpapering the inside of the front opening dollhouse. And I also felt really inspired for a new American Girl project, so I'm going to be going to the American Girl doll store soon to pick up the parts that I need for that. So stay tuned for that as well. And with that, I hope you guys have a great one. Bye, YouTube!